Hello everyone, in this video we're going to have a look at the copy constructor in C++. Okay, and now what the copy constructor does is, when you create for example a variable like int x is equal to 9, then I create another variable called int p and I equal to x. What happens is that x's value gets copied over to p. That's what it does. So that's just we can do the same exact thing with the class. So instead of saying int x, we can say car, because the data type is car, and we can say car1 or obj or BMW, and then we can create another class or another object from the car class and make it equal to the first object. So that's what we're doing. Now let's say for example int model, right? So we have two things. We have a car class public and we have model and speed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say car and I'm going to say car1, or let's say BMW. We're going to have two BMWs. One is BMW 1 and one is BMW 2. Okay, so I'm going to create a BMW 1 first. Then I'm going to say BMW 1's speed is equal to 230, and I'm going to say BMW's model is equal to 2015, right? Then I'm going to create another BMW car, right? BMW 2, and I'm going to make it equal to BMW 1. Perfect. Now I have some code right over here saying, just printing out the BMW 2's speed, BMW 2's model, and BMW 1's speed and BMW 1's model. Okay, so this is, by the way, it should have been BMW 1. So first it's going to print out BMW 1's attributes, and then it's going to print out BMW 2's properties or attributes. So let's just run this and see what happens. What happened? Okay, this should have been BMW 1, sorry, error. And of course it compiled it, and then we run it, so we can see that it gave us 230 first. Okay, this is BMW 1 speed as we specified right over here, and then it gives us 215, which is BMW 2 speed as we model, sorry, as we specified. Then BMW 1, sorry, that was BMW 1's attributes. BMW 2, right, has copied the attributes of BMW 1 over to itself. We haven't specified, BMW 2 dot speed is equal to BMW 1 dot speed. Let me show you. We didn't do this. We didn't say BMW 2 dot speed is equal to BMW 1 dot speed. This, we didn't go that long route. We did it direct. We went ahead and we copied the entire object over to BMW 2. So all the attributes went over. So this is something called copy, copying, and what allows us to copy each other, any object within another into another object is a copy constructor. Now C++ has a default copy constructor built in within, as it also has a default constructor, a normal constructor, which allows us to construct these attributes like that, or these objects like that. So you remember in one of the previous videos we done this. Okay, and then we had a constructor where we could just give some data into it like that. Once we creating, this was a parameterized constructor. Now C++, and in that video, remember we said that you can either do this and add some data, or you can leave it like that. Now the one where we leave it like this and we don't add some data or initialize some data once we create the class is because of a default constructor that is built in within C++. We can override that constructor like this. Okay, we can say car, and then we can say like that, remember, cout class created, right? So now it's whenever we create an object, it's gonna print out this message. Now this is our custom constructor. Now just like that, we can create a custom copy constructor as well. But you're gonna ask me, why do you want to create a custom copy constructor when there is one already built in? Well, that's a good question, and the reason we do that is because we just like we said, class created at right now here, we create a custom copy constructor to do custom tasks, or like execute our own commands to give us like more freedom, right? And the way we create a copy constructor is like this. It's just a normal constructor. It's it's placed in public. It doesn't have a return type. It has the same name as the class itself, but the difference is we pass in the parameter, but inside the parameter what we pass in is this, an object of the same class it's a function of. So we're gonna pass in car obj, okay? But hang in there with me. Might look confusing, but what it does is that it says car. Okay, just like we did car, we created an object of the car class. Here we also creating an object of the car class, but here the difference is we pass by a reference. We pass the address of it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say int, actually not int, sorry, what we're going to do is we're going to say the current model, okay, the model of this current car class is equal to the obj.model, and the speed of this class is equal to the speed of the class or the object that was passed in. Okay, so obj dot speed, and we can say here class is copied, class has been copied, and of course don't forget the handle syntax. Okay, copied. Now we have that. The next thing to do is to show you what this means. Because this is a constructor, okay, you're gonna have to do this. Okay, because this is a constructor, we create the BMW2 class, and inside of it we created a BMW1. Alright, okay, we passed in the address of BMW1, meaning it's gonna go and get into, BMW1 is gonna come over here, and BMW1's model is gonna be passed into the BMW2's model, and then BMW1, because this is the one we're passing in, BMW1's speed is going to be passed into BMW2's speed. So that's a custom copy constructor, and then we're going to see our class copied. So let's just run this and see what happens. Right, let's run. Of course it's going to give us an error. Now why does it give us an error? It says no matching function for call to car. Okay, what it is saying to us, what it's telling us is this. Let me just clear. It's telling us that we have a copy constructor over here, but over here car BMW1, right? It's saying that this also should have a copy constructor. So meaning that we should have like put in certain object in here. We had to like pass in a certain object. Okay, because we are copying from the class. So it's telling us that we have to use a copy constructor over here as well. Now that is why you need to, whenever you're using a custom copy constructor, you have to create a custom, or not a custom, sorry, you have to create, actually yeah, it is a custom default constructor. This is required. It's a requirement. You have to do it. Otherwise we cannot initialize or declare this class, because it's gonna look, once we're creating, it's gonna say, oh, bro, look here, there's no other constructors here, so how are you initializing or declaring this class like this? It should follow the syntax of a copy constructor declaration, not how you declared it right here. That's why we put this in there, so that it shows us that we can actually also declare our classes in such a manner like this. Okay, so now it has two options. It can either follow the pattern of declaring a class like this, or declaring a class like this using this copy constructor. So here we use the declaration of this, and here we using the declaration of the copy constructor. So now it's not going to give us any errors. So let's just run this, and now if I run this, you can see it gives us the message class copied, and BMW1 speed is 230, BMW1 model is 215, and it has copied everything over. Now this is a copy constructor. Now by the way, you can write it like this, or you can write it another syntax like this, equal to like that. That's better. I like this syntax.